There we go. Now we're live.
Bruh, tell me
There
about
it
it.
is.
Now we're live.
What's the good word, y'all? You know, we got the AFC East squad in here, Jets Flight Squad, BKBX Jets, Italy Jet Gino. We got Gunny Gumby, a New York Jets situation report in here. We're going to have a live time as always.
Yes.
As always.
Yo, so
Man.
bye week, I guess we could start there.
Mhm.
I feel like it was a really slow week. I feel like every other bye week we've had, it's been early in the season, right? We get it at like week 4 or something crazy, and then
week
we get
4,
screwed
week 5,
up.
always something dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, now
Okay.
it's more middle now. I feel like it's a little bit more
No,
middle.
this is perfect.
Yeah,
Yeah, this
this
year
was
was
Yeah,
perfect.
this was good. I
Yeah,
felt like
this
it came
was-
at the
yeah.
right time for everything. I thought it came at the right time. I'm not complaining about it.
Yeah, I think this was the best situation we could have potentially ran into. I would have even preferred, I won't say preferred, I would have been all right if we even had it like maybe 2 weeks pushed back from now. But I mean,
Yeah.
we're not getting screwed over the way the Patriots are. They play what, like 3 games in 21 days or something crazy?
And they added
Yeah,
and they
bro.
added a game. They added an extra game this season. They added a lot more wild card stuff now.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is a good time. I feel like.
Perfectly balanced for us. We got the doctor back. Guess we'll hit all the random news real quick. We got the doctor back.
Yeah, man.
LGT, Laurent's coming back.
I'm so happy. I wanted him back so bad in the summertime.
I didn't know if it was going to happen. I thought his residency stuff was going to like chew up his
Right.
whole
Longer
season.
than this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
what I
I
thought
mean,
too,
usually
yeah.
residencies last a year
Exactly.
minimum. So
It hit me though.
I
It's
think he was
Canada,
gonna
bro.
expedite
You remember
his.
we do.
Yeah,
That's why I
Canada's
said
a lot
dumb
of
stuff
things.
out
the
here.
same thing. I
Yeah.
was like, wait a minute. That's me with the American knowledge. He's from Canada, so maybe it's just
Yeah.
it's 6 months for them. And then boom,
His
Hey,
it was
last
literally
name
6 months.
speaks Canada. His last
And then,
name
because
speaks
what
Canada.
I think when I seen, it's like he finished whatever portion of his residency he's going to do for now, and then once he finishes the season, and I'm assuming the playoffs, seems like we're
Maybe.
going to make it. He's going to go back and wrap it up again. So
Maybe.
Yep.
however he's getting it done, he's making it happen.
Yeah.
So I think for me the
So-
question is like, is he going to become a like legitimate bona fide doctor like now, or is he going to like play a few more years and then
I thought he was
you know what I'm saying,
already
go be a
I-
doctor? Like I'm confused. Well, he's a doctor.
I
Like,
thought
I'm
he
talking
was-
like a practicing. He is.
Yeah,
He's a doctor.
yeah.
He
Well,
got
I
his
mean, he
PhD.
He did in 2020. He had his own like little.
Yeah,
has
he was
own-
working with the COVID patients.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm pretty.
okay.
Yeah. So I thought he already had his own like
I
practice.
think-
and stuff, maybe.
I don't think he's. So I think don't hold me to it. I ain't a damn doctor, but I think
it's different in Canada. It's different in
What,
Canada.
it's like you
so
go
I
through
got
the
you.
school, right? And then you do the residency for another period. And I think
Right.
the residency doesn't have anything to do with licensing or nothing like that, right? It's just kind of getting the what do you call it?
It's
like
the-
on the job
the-
training.
Certification
Training.
hours or something like that. Like it's like OJT
Okay.
on the job
Okay.
training.
Yeah,
Pretty
yeah,
much
yeah.
OJT. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I guess you can equate that to kind of like a pilot having to do their 180 hours or whatever it is.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Whatever specialty he wanted to, pursue
Yeah.
is why he has to do the residency to kind of make sure it's a fit and he gets it.
I mean, he might be able to pull that off because he's only 31, 32.
32, I think it is. Yeah, I think he's 32.
Yeah,
Looking
He
it
got
up
some
now. Looking
time
it
off
up
with
now.
the Chiefs, or at least he wasn't playing a whole lot, so you can't really count that season as wear his tear.
He is 31 years old.
31.
On the
Okay,
Jets
31 turning
practice squad.
32.
Oh shit.
He
Okay.
is-
All right.
He's a
I think he
French Canadian, 31 years old, and he already attended medical school at McGill University in Montreal before being drafted. So I guess he's done and already has his own stuff.
Yeah, I think he could probably make that work. I don't know. You think he's technically like maybe a long-term subbing guard for us?
No.
I would
I would like
we
it, but I
got-
don't think it's gonna happen. But I would like it though.
I wouldn't mind actually. He's been kind of like an underrated favorite of mine since he
Same.
decided.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah.
He
Remmers?
definitely showed.
With Remmers too. I mean, that's a good match because they went to the Super Bowl together.
I don't.
Remmers
Yeah. The
Remmers
other
and
tackles
Carter.
we brought in, I could give a damn about if I'm keeping it 100. Cedric and them, like it's cool. I appreciate them coming, during a terrible time for us. But yeah, I really could give a damn less.
Hey, all right. Hey, you do you.
But
You do
I
you.
think the question is, what does this mean for George Fant? Because we were expecting George Fant like to be back after the bye week, and
Did
I'm starting to
you
get the vibe, bro, that he's not going to be playing for the Jets again.
Oh yeah. Oh
did you
yeah.
hear about the
Oh yeah.
conspiracy theories around it?
Nah, I have not.
What do you?
All
Nope.
right, so basically, and like it's not like analysts or anything reporting this. This is all the geniuses in the Jets Twitterverse that have pieced things together. So apparently, what at least the school of thought is out there is that George Fant is using his knee, and whether he's like fully healthy or not, he's kind of milking it to force the New York Jets' hands. I think he has another. So I don't remember how this works. I think they have to activate him, and then they have the 3-week window, the 21 days,
Yeah,
and
like
then if he
Mitchell.
doesn't get signed back to the active roster or whatever you want to call it, by then he's permanently on IR. So basically, he's trying to get to that stage so that he doesn't screw up any chance of his next contract being impacted based on how poorly he performed beforehand. And everybody can piece together now maybe the knee wasn't fully healthy. So I guess that's the conspiracy theory. He wants to use the health to
I could see that.
I mean, I could see that 100%
I could
because
see that 100%.
Fant to me sounds like that kind of guy.
I don't know if I'd go that far, but I definitely didn't see us bringing him back after the whole back and forth fiasco from left to right.
Well, no, I mean,
honestly, I figured that he was done.
Yeah.
I mean, look at everything.
I figured he was done after we did the back and forth, man.
Yeah. I'm just surprised he hasn't brought
go ahead,
more drama to it. Sorry, my bad. We're talking.
No,
it's a three panel. We're always going to talk over each other. I've just been looking at so much film with him in this press conferences and the OTAs and the training camp. It feels different with him than it was last year. Last year he was good with us. Like he was like a lot of people were excited, but now it's like I just think it's flipped. I think he's mad with the situation, and he's just going to keep milking this until, his next contract, in my opinion, because his attitude changed just like Elijah Moore's did. So that's what I'm seeing. Like I said, I could be wrong, but I'm just going by what I see with my eyes.
I think it's interesting because I think it tests the theory of how much of a team player can you be, right? Because like George Fant's situation, very different. You're essentially, and I don't think the coaching staff would ever guarantee anything, right? But you walk in expecting to be the left tackle. Mekhi Becton goes down. You have to flip over to the right because we signed Dwayne Brown. And then Dwayne Brown gets that freaky shoulder injury, and you go back to left tackle, and then you end up kind of playing like crap. So it's like
he was already injured. He was already injured when all that head went down.
Yeah, so it's like part of me thinks he was maybe pressing to come back from his injury so that he can just get that left tackle, playing time in and, get some film tape on there. So he probably hurt himself there. But, it kind of Elijah Moore screwed himself, right? Bad timing. We're winning. You're crying about targets and catches. George Fant makes a little bit more sense if you take it from the standpoint he was expecting to be the left tackle. And then you have all the flip-flopping, and it's not even like he's getting settled in on a weekly basis. They're telling you, we need you to go to right, we need you to go to left, which also makes AVT that much more impressive to me. But, exactly. Outside of all that, it's just, I don't know, bad situation. I think it's just one of those things where if we even tried to force the issue and like re-sign him, franchise tag is out there. I don't even see anything close to that happening, but it's one of those things where you just see that marriage splitting, and at least at this point, I assume both sides are going to handle it amicably.
I don't see him on the roster next year, bro. I just don't. I just think that this was we're talking about somebody who was banking on 1 year of like great play. Because before last year, let's be honest, George Fant was not something that we were all like, oh my God, we got to
slightly above average.
1 year, slightly above average, exactly. He had a great year last year, and I think he knows he has to cash in on that great year. And I know, like people say, he doesn't have like football mileage on his body because he's a 33-year-old, 32-year-old. Oh wait, how old is freaking Fant?
I think he's 34, right?
He's early 30s. But people will tell you that he's not a real like NFL 30 since he didn't start playing football until like he was like in college. So I get the concept with that, but He hasn't been the most freaking stable.
He's only 30.
What?
Yeah, okay. I know it was
July
19th.
July. Oh, he's my age. Bitch, he's my age. He's he's only 1 month.
He's been injured a lot for somebody who doesn't have mileage on his body.
Yeah, that's
true. NFL freaking player, bro. Like, so to me, I'm like, well, that's great, but he's injury prone. So I don't care if he has low mileage in terms of NFL time. His body can't hold up to it, I guess, because he's been injured quite a bit. But yeah, I felt like this was going to be the year. He had to play this year. I think for the Jets to say, you know what, hell yeah, we're going to give you this money. He had to play this year. And by him not being able to, I don't see our boy JD looking at him like, yeah, you're somebody I want to invest in right now. We're still trying to figure out if Mekhi Becton is worth a damn. You know what I'm saying? Like, not. It's just, it doesn't make sense. We'll draft somebody, or we go to the freaking the next year. Laramie Tunsil is going to be available. It allows us to shift a lot of our offensive line if we can get Laramie Tunsil on the roster. And I do believe that that first round draft pick next year is going to the offensive line. And then I
was going to say, are you thinking free agency or draft? But that answer.
I think it's going to be both. I think it's both, bro. I really do.
Yeah.
If anybody's paying attention to Joe Douglas, that makes the most sense. The man's throwing darts every way he can. Waiver wire, trade, draft.
Like, he's not stupid. He knows when he needs to get done.
It's actually pretty screwed up how much of his moves haven't panned out. Like, okay, so I do remember an article, offensive line. They were talking about, why our offense is playing so much more poorly. They kind of targeted that. They were saying, how the colleges are run, all of these spread, RPO offenses, people aren't focused on technique anymore. They just want to get a 6'8", 340-pound body in there, slap you in the face real quick for 2 seconds so I can dish this off to a running back or, throw a 60-yard dart somewhere. So it makes a lot of sense, but yeah, it's the one depressing area for me with Joe Douglas. I feel like people would have, and they already hold him in high regard, but probably consider him like one of the top 5 GMs in the NFL if we hit on some of these targets.
Well, I mean, not only that, it's he has always done, even with the Adam Gase thing, like he got players they're good for Gase's system. He's got players that are good for Saleh's system. It's one of those things where I wouldn't even be surprised if he did the same thing like he did last year going into this year. Going in next year, what he did this year. So sky's the limit for him. Like the cap's going up next year, and we don't really pay anyone really heavy until like 3 or 4 years. I mean, who we got? Quinnen?
About 2. So yeah, Quinnen coming up. He probably actually gets his contract, and Zach becomes eligible next year.
And then Quan. Guess see if they're going to bring back Quan or Mosley. I don't think so.
I don't think we get Quan.
Mosley, no.
I don't think we get him.
Mosley's going to be here next year, guaranteed. The way they removed the contract, there's no way he's not going to be here next year.
Well,
it's going to be too much of a cap hit.
They did reconstruct it. Yes,
but his contract was so fucked up when we got it that he owed money all the way up into like 2025.
Oh, it's awful.
Yeah, he's got it. He's going to be in a roster. I think Quan is also going to get another contract from us.
What? With us?
Bro, this is why. Listen to me.
I got you.
The pure fact that those 3 linebackers have meshed as well as they did when we came into this season as a weakness.
Yeah.
I believe I think Quan's going to go ahead and take a discount just to play here. I do believe that. He'll take a discount to play here. I think
how much of a discount, though?
Yeah, I mean, he's only get paid like, what, $1 million?
Yeah, he's getting like the veterans minimum.
Yep, but he was looking to get anywhere from freaking 15 million, 10 to 15 million. He ain't gonna get that shit. I think in this scheme, he's gonna be worth between $7 to that $8 million range per year.
You think JD will pay that? Because remember, he's also what, touching 29?
He's 28, I thought.
All right, here we go.
Yeah. But by next year he'll be
29.
He'll be about 29. Yeah,
I feel like I know my role now. I'm just kidding.
I know that. You start typing. I'm like, hey, Italy, look that shit up real quick. Like, how old is that?
All right, just take a guess because my mind is blown.
I'm gonna say he's 28 right now. He'll be 29 next year.
What about you, Sitch?
28 going. I think 28 too. Yeah, I think he's late 20s. Yeah, 28. I think
correct. He's 28 years old. August 3rd, 94.
Yeah, bro.
You think what? Okay, so you think us keeping CJ?
Yep.
You think we'll pay Quan, and then that gives us 2 aging. I don't know. So that's the part I would struggle with. 2 aging linebackers. We still have Quincy. which is fine. But keep in mind, he's also going to be a free agent this season. So, like, if we don't go the draft route, I don't know if they pick Quan over Quincy, who at least has that ability to have that high upside. I still think Quan plays as well as he does for, the next couple of years. But I don't know if he'll invest that money in a position, when he can probably go to the draft. Keep in mind, Salah's the linebacker whisperer. So
I think we'll get a safety in the draft, honestly.
Our defense right now, I think safety, right? Exactly. I think on the defense side of the ball, bro, we're going safety.
What?
Because right now, Whitehead has not impressed. Think about it, bro. Whitehead has not impressed. Joyner has not impressed. They've been average, but they're doing the job of that defense.
Yeah,
there it is. They're doing the job. They're doing the job.
Yeah,
I know Joyner's going to get flexed because of the interceptions. I get that, but if you look at their overall level of play, they miss assignments a lot, bro. Like they miss 100%. Assignments a lot. If not 100%. For a guy like Sauce Gardner and DJ Reed that has kind of bailed out the safety position,
and Carter's been doing great too.
Carter, like you would see a lot more. Like you'd be like, God, where the hell was it? You would be asking, where the hell was the safety at in numerous plays? I think safety on that defense is truly the weak link, and I think that's where we're going to go in the draft.
And not only
are we talking like top three rounds?
Yeah.
Yes. Round two. I think it's going to be offensive lineman round 1.
Exactly.
Safety round 2, bro. I think that's the biggest weakness on the defensive side of the ball.
Yes. Hands down. And
I don't disagree. I don't know if we'll go that high in the draft, though.
Yeah, but that's the thing. That's the thing with these guys' contracts this year, like Uzama, Conklin, a lot of these, even Whitehead, they can have an out.
100%. It's usually after 2 years.
And we can do that. And the fact that we can do that and get some more players, and the cap is going to go up next year, we can spend some money and cut whoever we want. JD put himself perfectly in place for what we need to do in the next couple of years.
We're not paying anybody on the offensive side of the ball, bro. Dude, like, think about that.
Only Corey,
everyone on the offensive side of the ball are on rookie freaking deals, dog. Like, we're in that rare situation where, like, our quarterback, we got him locked up for 3 more years at rookie's contract.
Yeah.
Our best offensive lineman in AVT, rookie contract. Brees Hall, rookie contract. Garrett Wilson, Elijah Moore, rookie contract, bro. And we're paying freaking Corey Davis. I think we should keep Corey Davis.
No, I agree with that. But what do you do with Lakin? What do you do with Davis and Lakin, though?
Tomlinson's going to be there, bro. Tomlinson's going to be there simply because it was his first year, and our outs doesn't really kick into year 3. And he's been atrocious. I will say this. Lakin Tomlinson, to me, has been a disappointment. I expected so much more from when I was so pumped about that signing. And now I'm like, this guy is not. What's going on?
But is it because he's not with Trent Williams? Has there been consistency? Because there hasn't been any consistency over the left side. Do you think so?
100%.
Okay.
100%, Gino, because
that's what I think too. That's what I think too.
That he eliminated a lot of the weaknesses that Tomlinson portrayed. We didn't see it. We just didn't see it. And now we get to witness it right now because he's a freaking Jet. And it's frustrating.
Dude,
but
I
again,
agree 100%.
He's on the contract, man, for at least he'll be here next year because the out we have is in year 3.
Yeah, I think that's so because I just covered the video for this. I know the offensive side pretty well.
And
Corey Davis, I see sticking, right? The offensive line is probably going to be the most heavily invested position in, I think, on both sides because Cedric's gone, Mike Rimmer's gone. We got to keep Lakin in that terrible contract that he has, at least based on this performance. Mm-hmm. Connor McGovern, potentially gone. We've been trying to move on from him for 2-3 years anyways. AVT comes back, but still, that's always kind of risky. I don't think he falls off a cliff, but it is what it is.
Yeah,
so Ant's gone, but we need tackles because we got to rely on Mekhi Becton. He's been unreliable. We have Dwayne Brown, who, if he doesn't retire, it's still a bad contract, but we got forced into it. So it's really like, who do we really have on the offensive line other than AVT? If you feel like he comes back the same way he was, our center's gone. Lakin Tomlinson is whatever. Both tackles are essentially up in the air. And then the only position I feel comfortable in is right guard. Nate Herbig, diamond in the rough. Beautiful.
Has impressed.
And Mitchell. Both of them have been great.
Max Mitchell, but we're assuming he takes another huge step. Worst case scenario, though, I think we still love where he's at right now, right? If this is his floor, I think we would live with that compared to what we've been seeing. 100%.
So, yeah.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'll tell y'all right now. Jeremy Tunsil? Laramie Tunsil is gonna be a New York Jet next year. There's no.
You think he gets cut?
The contract's over. They can't afford him.
Look, right now. When it comes to that discussion, bro, I think everybody tries to take a page out of the Saints book. I just don't know if the Texans will do it.
The thing is this though, so the Texans right now, bro, are so bad. They don't have a quarterback. They have a running back. They've got no wide receivers. They're on the defensive side. Who the hell do you know other than freaking they drafted before Sauce?
Stingley. Yeah, they got Stingley, and I think they still have Levante David, which may be their only like key pieces on that side.
Fact. So these guys are not a left tackle. A left tackle right now doesn't help them. It doesn't.
Yeah.
So to pay that man the amount of money he's going to demand makes no sense. Oh, we're going to go ahead and pay you through your prime. We have no quarterback for you to protect. We've got no freaking offensive identity for you to go ahead and be part of. Like, left tackle is one of those things where, yes, it's a staple in every offense, but that's only when you know what the hell the direction your offense is going into. Like,
they're going to have one, though, if you believe in this upcoming draft.
Yes.
They're looking at a top pick. Top 1, top 2, it doesn't really matter.
Facts.
People are saying this class is like 3 or 4 deep. You can, that would probably be my strongest argument, right? Why don't I just have a veteran presence instead of trying to go and get a young left tackle and a young quarterback? They're grabbing a quarterback at the top. It would at least make sense for them to try to keep Tunsil in the pitch in the picture.
So my counter argument is, why would you let him go to free agency? Why haven't you already re-signed him? Because now, next year, he can decide, do I want to stay on this scrub-ass team and make freaking good money, or go play with the team that's on the come up?
Aren't they pressed against the cap?
Who?
Texans.
No, bro.
I don't know.
There's nobody on the roster.
Yeah,
their
highest paid player is Cooks.
I thought they had a lot of dead money on the books.
No, I think the highest paid player is, in fact, Tunsil.
No, but that's what I'm saying. I thought the cap space was restricted from all the dead money they had to pay out. I could be wrong. I might be thinking
I don't know about that.
Gino, do the Google thing. Gino, do the
Google thing. I got you, Gino.
I'm pretty positive,
what am I
bro.
Looking
They
up?
got
what
cap
am I looking
space.
up?
Like,
I'm gonna go check their cap space right now.
Okay,
cap space,
right, cool.
Because they're not paying anybody, bro. I think you're right. Cooks.
Yeah, Cooks and Tunsil. That's what I thought.
That's
because they had to give up. They had to give up something to get Cooks back because that's their number one wide receiver. So they already got Pierce,
and then
which has been
when
good
they
for them.
Hopkins, that was their big. They got a lot of freaking money taken off of their freaking their cap when traded Hopkins away, bro. Like, they're paying nobody right now.
Yeah, they got a bunch of they got Stingley and a bunch of Alabama guys.
Okay, so the Texans have
GBH. Clowney is with the Browns and Watts is with the Cardinals.
I knew I wasn't tripping. Yeah. The Texans have $2 million in team cap space. They have Deshaun Watson on the books, Zach Cunningham on the books, Whitney Merciless, Shaq Lawson, Bradley Roden. Wow. I told you they got $1 million guys in like dead cap space money they're paying that had.
Wait a minute,
that's embarrassing.
Remember, they only got out of the Deshaun Watson deal because they paid a majority of his contract.
Okay, what?
That was the trade. I will take on a huge piece of his contract. I'll get all of these picks.
That's right.
So Deshaun Watson, Zach Cunningham, Whitney Merciless, Shaq Lawson, all over $5 million.
Whitney Merciless?
Yep.
Shaq Lawson?
Yep.
What?
Remember, they gave him that crazy 2 years, $7 million contract that was front loaded after he had that season with us.
Oh my God. That's a lot.
Well, he's right.
Yeah, he is.
But
right.
No, okay. I remember even still, if they re-sign Tunsil, that doesn't hit them until next year anyway. So what's their cash like for next year?
Well, I would assume
this year,
and the cap goes up for everybody next year. So I get that.
My bad, Gunny. You were saying About not re-signing him this year. What happened?
Yeah, because they should have if they wanted to keep Tunsil, you re-sign him this year before you're competing against the other teams next year, getting his services. When he can make the decision of saying, like, y'all fucking suck. I'm sorry. I gotta stop doing this. Y'all freaking suck. I'm gonna go play with team A or team B because I'm gonna get paid and I have a chance of at least, you know what I'm saying, being relevant. Like,
okay,
I think that matters. And if they could re-sign him today and it doesn't hit their cap until next year anyway, because he would still be already on the books for this year. And they haven't done that. And that's what I'm saying. Like, if the goal was to keep this dude, the last thing you want, I think, is to compete with the other teams who are going to want his services. And there's going to be a lot of teams that want his services.
That's true.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. I think
Sorry, go on.
Who knows the relationship and all that? So I don't know. That's for whatever. But like,
I understand that.
I would assume if they left it up to chance, maybe they're hoping that they come see where their official draft position is. They sell them a good picture. The same thing what Saleh did when he came in, right? No chance in hell nobody was coming to us, but he had great connections. You can make an argument they probably get rid of his coach. They have a top pick, your choice of quarterback. Tunsil comes back in. He says, all right, I'm on board with this, but it's risky. So, I get
risky. Yeah, I agree with that. Well, I mean, it's like the 49ers. They got to pay so many people next year and the year after that. So they got to pick and choose just like the Jets in Houston do. And the Bills. We can't forget about the Bills. Bills got to pay so many people in the next 2 years.
The Bills are about to be irrelevant year after next.
I agree.
Their window,
I have been saying that since summertime. It's a tight ass window, man.
It's tight.
You pay Von Miller a lot of money,
or
man.
next year.
Irrelevant though.
Bro,
it's tough to say. It's tough to say
not
that
irrelevant for me, maybe for Gunny, but I think they got to pay a lot of people. Like
but
Allen,
how many times have? And I'm not saying Josh Allen is Tom Brady, but how many times have we seen decent teams kind of reset the window, or at least it doesn't go all the way back to square one just based off their quarterback?
So check it out. This is where I'm about to play devil's advocate, right? So Josh Allen got good. When did Josh Allen become relevant?
So
third year.
They put up Stephon Diggs basically, and they got rid of Cole Beasley.
There it is. Stephon Diggs.
His third year.
When
his
he got
third
Stephon
year in the
Diggs,
NFL.
Year three. This year, we've seen 3 games where Stephon Diggs becomes non-existent, like wiped out. Defense was like, nah, we're gonna take away Stephon Diggs and force Josh Allen to beat us any other way. They've lost all 3 games. Us, Miami, and just happened, Minnesota, focused on taking away Stephon Diggs. And Josh Allen looked like Josh Allen year 2 in the NFL. And I'm not saying it's a big enough sample size to say the man, because what the man did last year was impressive. I'm not saying it's not impressive. But I realized the formula with this guy. I'm like, well, that's a formula. That's a pattern. 3 different teams did the same thing. Took away Stephon Diggs. And Josh Allen looked like he did year freaking 2 in the NFL. Now, Stephon Diggs next year has a big hit. The Josh Allen's 45 million hits next year. They're going to have to let people go next year, bro. Unless somebody's going to say, I'll restructure to stay.
Yes.
Stephon Diggs, I'm not going to lie to you, bro. I don't think he's about freaking winning as much as he's about his money. I think if Stephon Diggs is told, like, hey, listen, we know we promised you freaking 27 million, but we're going to need your help, man, for us to go ahead and stay. I don't see Stephon Diggs taking the pay cut. Well, Josh Allen,
according to his attitude, According to his attitude, that's just the way it looks.
And that's what I'm saying. Their window is small, and I'm not gonna pretend like there's a bunch of freaking Stephon Diggs just laying around. That's just easy to draft or just That's not the norm, and I think Josh Allen needs a player of the caliber, a true wide receiver one like Stephon Diggs, for us to see the numbers that he puts up. Otherwise, we know he's going to run the ball, and he's not winning.
I don't think he played a good running
game. They got a good running game.
I don't think he played a part in developing Dawson Knox and seeing Gabe Davis take off. I don't think that's manufactured offense. I think there's a
50% drop rate. Okay. So Gabe Davis, bro. Listen. Yes, he's got some pretty highlight plays. I'm gonna give you that. I've seen some pretty highlight plays, but 52% catch percentage. Squat missed me with that, bro. I'm with you. 50-50 ball. That's bad.
I'm with you there. To me, He's just Stephen Hill, but he can actually make the plays.
Exactly. He's Stephen.
But I mean,
Stephen
still,
Hill
even that's hard to get done.
True. Man. I just think that this team right now is so good because they have playmakers at every position group. They've got playmakers, but they
except the injuries.
For those playmakers.
There's some injuries. That's the only concerning
thing. But this
thing.
shows you how tight their money is, right? There's no depth. There's no depth. They can't afford
war of attrition.
They're paid. Yeah. Exactly. And this is football. Injuries are going to happen. The simple fact that the Jets right now are 6-3 is still mind-boggling to me. No, the injuries we've taken with a patch-made offensive line, this team is 6-3. Like, I don't think enough credit is being given to how great a job the coaching staff has done to kind of keep this thing still moving forward. Because ABC and Breece Hall went down, bro. We were all like, well, there it is.
No, shit. I'm not one of those guys.
We had a good run.
Not me.
Then they beat the Bills. Like, bro, I'll be the first to tell you, like, I think you cannot replace an AVT. I just remember the Titans. You cannot replace a freaking something St. Pierre. You can't replace an AVT or a Breece Hall. Yet somehow, some way, the Jets beat the Bills without their best two offensive weapons. That to me that's impressive. But it shows the amount of depth that this team has because of the youth that we have. The Bills don't have that, man. Bills don't have that. The Dolphins don't have that. They can't. If Tua goes down right now, the team is in shambles. We've seen that. Tua, I believe, which sucks to have to admit this, man, but Tua is the catalyst of how that team is winning. And as much as it sucks to have to say it out loud,
yeah, he's really stepped up. Yeah.
He stepped up, man.
They love him. They love him. They love him.
Talk about
they feed off him
East at some point.
Bro. Yeah, no. I was gonna say that's definitely what's gonna happen today. We got a good segue here in a bit.
We gotta jump into that, man, because
I was not worried about AVT and Breece Hall. I'll be honest. I've always been that type of attitude that the next man up. I mean, a lot of Super Bowl teams have done that where big people go down and it's always been the next guy. I mean, yes, Breece Hall and AVT are very good players. I mean, we wouldn't be anywhere without them, but I mean, the fact that Joe Douglas went on to go get James Robinson, he picked up Cedric O and Remmers, and now we got Tardif now. Like, it shows how much Joe Douglas has been on other teams before, Super Bowl teams with being a GM. He knows what it takes. So that's why I wasn't worried, in my opinion.
Nah, I think anybody that pays attention. I like what Bart Scott said, and I don't know if he originated the quote or, if it's just borrowed, NFL knowledge, but it's better to have a good team than superstars, right? It's very rare that we've seen those teams that have like a top 3 player at their position make it an entire season and then through the trenches of the playoffs and how much, more physical and stuff it gets there. So I think we were always going to be more underrated for that standpoint anyways. We got a lot of good players. We have a couple great players, even a few exceptional, but we have a lot of good guys. Like,
good players.
If knock on wood, Conklin went down right now, CJ Uzomah, we would still expect jumps right back into that form we assumed we paid him to do. If he went down or, vice versa, whatever, I think we would still have a lot of comfort in Jeremy Ruckert.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Here. He's been able to sit and really kind of fine-tune himself and get that treatment, Zach Wilson didn't get. So, and we have that across the board. If Carl Lawson went down today, I think all of us would be, banging on Joe Douglas's window to say, put Bryce Huff over there. So,
or Clemens.
The only player, the only player the Jets cannot lose, in my opinion, Quentin Williams. Quentin Williams is probably the only player on this roster the Jets cannot lose.
Yeah, and I say that because tackle is still pretty light for us. Yeah,
very light, and that dude is playing literally Aaron Donald level football. There's not many guys like that in the league, and he sets the tone that allows the edge rushers to beat their one-on-ones. Q is winning the double team matchup every single game, bro. He is making these grown men look like children every single game. I don't think we can afford to lose Quentin Williams. And some people would say Sauce Gardner, and I would agree. But
Reed. I was going to say Reed.
Bro, and Reed. And
Brandon Eccles look good, though.
He does. But when Reed came back, we were a different team. Like
100%. But I think from like the depth argument that people are talking about right now, like if Quinnen went down, we're not comfortable with Nathan Shepard. We'd have to say JFM has to take his spot for us to fill any level of security.
And
or Quincy Williams.
And it still wouldn't be on the level of a Q. It still wouldn't be on the level of a Q.
Maybe. I don't know. We haven't necessarily seen that season where, he went off, and what was that, 2 years ago now? They did say he had Aaron Donald level production within that. JFM? It was small sample size though.
And Nick Saban has said that a lot of times because he went to Alabama. He's one of his best players.
JFM or Quinnen Williams?
No, Quinnen. I'm talking about Quinnen. I'm talking about Quinnen. Nick Saban with Quinnen Williams.
I'm talking about JFM.
With that DK?
Yeah,
so with that DK, I will say JFM was able to produce, because again, Quinnen Williams has not faced single man blockage like in years, bro. Like he's literally been dealing with double teams for the last 3 years. He was the person everybody was just like, all right, they're whatever, they're okay, they're mid. That dude's good. We're gonna. He's been doing this since he came into the league, and to see him this year, I'm not saying he could win every now and again. The last couple of years, you can see him still get past. But this year, bro, like I love this all 22 tape because Quinnen Williams is taking on double teams and he is manhandling grown men like 1-on-2, and it's just fun to watch. Like it is legitimately fun to watch that man smack dudes around and get into the backfield. And I just have a hard time believing we have any other piece that could potentially offset that. To include, I think JFM is a good defensive lineman. I think he is, but I don't know if we have a Quinnen Williams level freaking beast. That can do.
I'm with you there.
Like I agree with that. But I think the Williams brothers in general, Quincy and Quinnen, because Quincy's speed on that linebacker position is unbelievable. I don't have confidence in Sherwood and Nazardine. I'm going to be honest. I just don't. If Quincy goes out again, Quincy was one of the difference makers when he came back. That's just.
I like Sherwood.
But I like him. But we still won with Quincy out though.
Yeah.
But
I'm saying he was out 3 games
when he came back.
We won two. We won 2 out of the 3 games.
We were a different team when he came back, though.
More aggressive with those hits. Like, he can rock him up. He can rock a dude's body all day. And he's fast. I got you.
Yeah.
But I think the argument, again, my argument is just that I don't think if Quinnen Williams goes out, we're in trouble. I think that
I agree with that.
He is the heartbeat of that defensive line, bro. Him saying, look, coach, stop blitzing with all this BS. Stop with the BS. Just let me do what we gotta do. Since that game, bro, man has proven,
different Quinnen Williams.
100% different Quinnen Williams. And I think 100%. Him taken out of the game right now, that means everybody now has to go ahead and work a little bit harder to get in the backfield. Whereas Quinnen is just like, hey guys, I got it, boys. I'm gonna take on these 2 scrubs and I'm gonna go ahead and create pressure so y'all can go ahead and beat your one-on-ones. And that to me is just different. That's just a different cap. There's like great players and whatnot, and then there's game wreckers. And I think Quinnen Williams on that D line is a game wrecker.
I'm with you. That's all right. So kind of speaking of the linebackers, GVH had a solid question, right? So we got the Pats coming up, and then we'll kind of diverge a little bit to this AFC East argument. But all right. So talking about Quan and Quincy, do you think they have to have a big game, or is it more on the safeties to defend Ramondre Stevenson, which would be the Pats running back?
That's the running back. Yeah. It's got to be the backers, bro.
Yeah.
GVH, man, I think it's got to be the backers, man. Those safeties are back there to assist, you know what I'm saying, with any kind of deep balls and crashing, of course, the line of scrimmage and helping in case, you know what I'm saying, that runner gets into that third level. But in terms of like literally making an impact, I think we got to give that to the linebackers to stop the run. Right now, with the Pats, man, again, we lost this last time, and legitimately, it's so cliche. The Jets lost that game. Pats didn't beat us. The Jets lost that game. If Zach throws one less interception, we still win that game. But he threw 3, and he gave them all 3 of them were in great field position for the freaking Pats to kick field goals. But our defense, man, they played lights out. They eliminated their wide receivers. There's I don't know, man. To me, it's maybe call me cocky or arrogant, but there's nothing. When I look at that Patriots freaking offense, that makes me go, oh my God. What are we going to do with this person? I think, honestly, linebackers handle the freaking running game. Our DBs can eliminate any wide receiver they have on the field. And hell, send the safeties on blitzes for all I care, because I'm not worried about Reed or Sauce getting beat by any of their wide receivers.
So I agree with everything Sitch said. It's just, for me, the Patriots, I mean, we haven't beat them in a long time. I mean, that we've lost 13 games in Foxborough against them. It's one of those things where Belichick, when we make mistakes, Belichick is always 2 steps ahead of us, and it sucks. But at the same time, everybody's got to be good. Everybody's got to be good. There can't be any weaknesses. I agree the linebackers gotta go with the running game, but the safeties have to too. Like when they're getting beat, they have to be on it. They have to capitalize everywhere. That's why this game, to me, for the Patriots game, means a lot more, because we have always said we can't capitalize on people that are bad chemistry. Well, just like Sitch said, we lost. We lost. The Jets lost because we lost. And at the same time, it's not the same old Jets when we beat the Patriots. In my opinion.
I think it depends. I don't want to call it a hybrid defense. We're obviously running a 4-3, but what we do on the back seven with how the cornerbacks are playing always allows us to change things up. And I think Jordan Whitehead always tends to kind of be the X factor on what we're going to do. So
they can stop dropping the ball.
Yeah. So Jordan Whitehead technically has the next most, well, I won't even say technically, he has the most tackles outside of CJ Mosley and Quincy Williams on the team. And when you take a look at the film and all that stuff, you can see how often they try to put him in the box, where really he should probably be living there like 80% of the time. We brought him in to dominate the line of scrimmage, and that it just hasn't gone according to plan that way. But irregardless, I think he's kind of the key factor, especially since we tend to play our linebackers in more of that lateral sideline to sideline coverage, as opposed to necessarily saying, okay, make this a 5-yard stop. I see that kind of being Jordan Whitehead's role in this particular matchup. But, I mean, we'll see what happens.
Everybody's got to be on their game. Everybody's got to be on their game. Everyone.
That's really what it's about.
I just wanted to beat the Patriots, bro. I can't take another season. We don't beat these dudes.
Exactly.
Bro. I can't do it. We got to beat.
I can't take it
this freaking weekend. No,
I'm gonna have to go back to my blood pressure medication. I don't want to do that,
bro. I'm with you.
I can't. I just can't. I can't.
That's why my question was GVH. That's a very good point. You're right. Stevenson has been catching a lot of balls in the backfield, but the thing is this, though. I think Quincy and Quan are both quick enough. Quan has the better coverage skills, I think, but I think both of them are quick enough to stick with him. Like if that's the biggest concern, the safety, like these guys said, the safety's job is to look. If they get past that second tier of the defense, it's our job. We got to figure it out. But I like Quan and I like Quincy with their speed aspect. I like Quan a lot more with his coverage ability, and I think that's where the linebacker play I think holds more value, because they're getting into that third stage of the defense, man. That we're talking about. We're giving up first downs, we're giving up yards, and we don't need them just picking away at us this entire game, because the way they're going to beat us is if we make mistakes, which means if we're giving them the opportunity to go ahead and control the clock, control the time of possession, it's not going to work well for us to get a dub. In order to prevent that, those linebackers, specifically Quan, in that particular situation that you just stated about Stevenson out of the backfield catching passes, we brought him on because of his coverage ability, right? He's a coverage linebacker that can lay the hit on an individual. And I think that's important. So I still believe that even when you break it down like that, the linebackers have to step their game up way more than the safeties do.
Would you agree if when we make these mistakes that Belichick is always 2 steps ahead of us?
100%. It's almost like he predicts where we're going to make mistakes.
Exactly. Yes.
It's frustrating.
I think I don't know. Salah's done, I think, one of the better jobs out of Bowles, Gase, and Ryan of kind of getting him off of kind of, I want to say almost predicting his game plan, because Bill Belichick's even mentioned it as much with the recent matchup we had, and they pulled it out, but that was purely on Zach Wilson's stupidity at that point. And he's like, yeah, it feels like CJ Mosley knew our game calls, and they were out there just dominating us on offense. So I don't see us, much like the first game, I don't see us really having any problems. If anything, I see us doing all the things we did to take away the wide receivers and tight ends, and we end up putting a stronger clamp on Stevenson. I don't think we have any issues coming out of Sunday where we say the defense screwed us. So I think we'll be in a good position there.
Yeah. I'll say this. Simple. Jets win this game on Sunday if they don't turn the ball over. If that means Zach Wilson doesn't get to throw the ball on Sunday and we run the whole thing, I believe so much in this defense that we're going to get good field position to go ahead and kick field goals and win this game on Sunday. Like, literally, if we don't turn the ball over on Sunday, Jets win this game. That's how easy the game plan can be. Hey, Zach, check it out. We're not going to throw the ball this game because Bill seems to have your number figured out. So we're going to run the hell out of it, and we're going to let the defense do the work. I feel that confident in how good our defense is playing and how good our special teams can be to beat this freaking Patriots freaking team, because they're like if you guys look at the statistics, they're like bottom of the league in points scored, time of possession, sack rate, pressure rate. Bro, they're not a good team. How they won 5 games, I don't even understand it. It's like the Bill Belichick freaking wizardry, because like statistically speaking, when you look at the stats, you're like, this is a 5-4 team. How is this possible? Because they haven't been good this season. Yet they're 5-4, which leads me to believe.
Yeah, even the Bears went against them.
Bruh.
It's like even the Bears won against them. It's crazy.
The Bears beat them 1-11. Justin Fields decided, you know what? I'm not going to bother throwing the ball. I'm just going to run against you guys the whole game, and you can't stop me. And he did. He ran against them the whole game. Yeah. They couldn't stop him. That man 1-11 beat the freaking Patriots, bro. Like, if we lose this game on Sunday, bro, I'm gonna be really pissed off. Like, I'm gonna be so livid. I can't even begin to put it into words. I'm gonna be so livid, because it won't be because they're better than us. It's not because they're a better team than us. It's because we decided to be stupid, or I'm getting.
This is our own. This is our own. Okay, the Jets are their own worst nightmare. Like, it's either gonna go good or it's gonna go bad. It's always up to us, because they never. The teams just capitalize on our mistakes. We've been doing that for a long time. The Jets, I mean, shoot, I think we can all agree the Browns win. That was lucky. Chubb just did stupid things, and then we won. But the thing about this game, if we continue to go down the path with the Patriots alone, I'm not talking about the Bears, I'm talking about the Vikings, we're our own worst enemy. Make the adjustments. Everybody's got to be good.
Fair point.
It's funny because the Buffalo Bills Jets fan stated, like, this weekend it's not a must win. It's just the can't lose game. And it sounds weird when you say it, like, oh, what's the difference? But like, he's right. It's not a must win. If we don't win this game on Sunday, we're still in the hunt in terms of like playoffs. We're still in the hunt in terms of a better outcome than the majority of people anticipated for the season. Like, you know what I'm saying? But it's a can't lose, because like if we lose it doesn't tell us anything. You can't win in the AFC East if you can't beat the teams in the AFC East. I was okay with us taking an L from the Buffalo Bills twice this year. But on my freaking predictions, I had us sweeping the Patriots and splitting with the Dolphins. The simple fact that the Dolphins are the only team right now in the AFC East we did not beat, when they are by far the worst in terms of talent level, is mind-boggling to me and extremely frustrating because I know it's not because of them just being better. It's because there's a mental gap with Jets roster, Jets players, Jets coach. I don't know. There's a mental gap that is literally not allowing us to get past this team. And that's beyond frustrating.
Well, let's do predictions. What's the scores? What's the scores for y'all?
For this week? All right, look, since we lost the last time I did this whole blah, blah, I'm done with that shit. I'm done with that. So I'm going to be real with you guys, right? So this is my legitimate, it ain't happening this time, because that once that happened, bro, I was so livid after that. I was like, all right, that's it. Now I'm just going to start calling games the way I really believe it. The Jets should win this game 17-14. New York Jets. And to me, although I would love to say they're going to destroy them 30 freaking whatever to 5 because all they got was a freaking field goal and maybe a safety because we got bowled on 4th and 1 on our own. I would love to say that, but the thing is, I still believe there is a level of, I don't know, like Belichick just knows how to get under this team's skin, and it's going to limit their ability to perform at peak levels. So I got the Jets beating the freaking Patriots this weekend, 17-14. Sorry, 17-13. They don't get 2 touchdowns. They get a touchdown and 2 field goals. So 17-13 Jets, right? And I do have Zach Wilson playing a game manager type game. I see James Robinson coming out, being a freaking highlight running back this week for us. The defense is going to have a field day. We're talking about 1 interception and at least 4 sacks. Zach Wilson will throw an interception this weekend. I just can't fathom that a guy who has career high in I think it's 14 interceptions, 7 of them have come literally playing the Patriots, that he's not going to turn over at least one time this week. So it's going to happen. But ultimately, the Jets win this game 17-13. It's a close one. It's frustrating because it shouldn't be close, but we get the dub and we're able to focus on the Minnesota. I think the Vikings next week is who's next? Or is it
Bears.
Bears. So then we focus on the Bears the following week. So that's my prediction for this week.
What do you think, Banks? I'm going last.
I don't know. I got a lot of pressure on my shoulders after getting my Bills prediction right. I'm
doing a complete 180, so that's why I'm going last.
So the way I feel about this game is, for one, I think even for the fan base, we haven't taken the words that Robert Saleh has been providing to us serious. He's preached this entire time. We don't care about what the outside school of thoughts are, the expectations, all that good stuff. We know the kind of team we have. We know who we are, yada, yada. Yeah. And I think that Buffalo Bills win showed it, right? And we've been hearing Zach Wilson, even through his bad performances, and plenty of other players on the team mention it's not that the other team is winning. It's that we're losing, 1. And 2, they feel that there's no longer this whole situation where we're like playing up or down to somebody else's talent level. Every win, every loss this is expected. And that's the new standard with the Jets, which is something I love. And as much as I think this is just a business trip to go out in Foxborough, handle that win real quick, and then move on to the Bears, there's that rivalry piece in the AFC East where I just don't think that that emotional piece ever goes out of it. So I think we do see a lot of huge games from all over, and this specifically on the Jets side. On paper, there's not a better player at a lot of positions than the Jets have. And I think we see that domination after this Buffalo Bills win. So I would say 27-10 Jets win.
Ooh, shit. Okay. 27-10? 27-10. So you think we're going to beat the crap out of them?
I think a damn Thor's hammer going to come out of nowhere and smack the shit out of Bill Belichick.
Hey, I'm about that life. I'm about it. Let's go.
Y'all are going to think I'm crazy, but I'm just looking at what I'm looking at. It's going to be bad weather in Foxborough. It's already bad weather. So the Bills are moving to Indy. So for me, we're going to make a lot of mistakes. They're going to make mistakes. We always have a tough time against the Patriots. 2020 going into overtime, and we get our shit together and we win. Every time with the Patriots, we always have a tough time. We always have a tough time. It doesn't matter if we're playing good and if we're playing bad. They always come back. They always come back. And it's bad weather. 2020, then going into overtime. And
so what, 23-20?
Yes, it's going to be a kick by Zerline. That's what I'm thinking. Because the bad weather, if the bad weather wasn't a factor, then like, okay, all right, I could see us going a little bit more. But I think Zach's going to be conservative. Defense is going to play well. But I'm worried. I'm just so worried about this game. I'm just so worried.
Hold on. Historically, we do play each other pretty close for the most part, and then if shit falls off the rails and we have multiple turnovers, it gets bad.
Facts.
But when you look at most of these games over these 13 years, but if you look at these last 13 games, a lot of them have been pretty close.
Yeah.
With the exception of
call me crazy, but that's what I think.
50 whatever point, whatever.
Yeah,
every other
50
game
burger
has been pretty much a one possession game. So
we got.
It's supposed to be like this weekend. I think it's
so.
Is it snowing over there?
It's supposed to snow in Foxborough on Sunday. Bills had to move to Indy because of the snow there, so it's going to be.
I thought it was Detroit. Is it in Indy now? I thought it was Detroit. They moved to.
I think that's what I'm thinking of. I was thinking about one of the blue teams.
Okay.
Dark Soldier says Sunday is 39 degrees and sunny.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Because I'm like, I don't think so, brother. I think. They're not playing at New York. They're playing in Massachusetts. It's going to be cold, but I didn't see any snow or anything for Gillette Stadium. It's just going to be cold, which is football weather.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see. We had a few other ones. Okay.
Shut up, Dark Soldier. Shut up.
Hey, that's my guy, bro. I love you.
21-17.
I love him, but man, fuck you right now.
24.
No, but he's quick though. Like he's just like, nope, 39 degrees, sunny. It's gonna be perfect. We got this.
Hey, that works for me. We don't need no extra.
Bro,
no extra
I don't
excuses.
want any advantage to help them. When you said that, I was just like, oh, damn it. They already can't throw the ball, which means that's going to take away us throwing the ball. It's going to be running versus running. And I don't want that. I want it to where we can at least get Zach Wilson comfortable to go ahead and get his freaking – I don't care. Like I said before, if he throws 4 or 5 freaking passes and he completes them and they get us a first down or they extend the clock, I'm all about it. But running game versus running game, like that's the strength of the freaking Patriots offense right now, and I don't want that. I don't want them having their strength matching us. I want them to be one dimensional. And in this case, we already know Mac Jones is a joke. Now no one's scared of him. The running game's impressive. I want to know, hey, we need to stop this running game, and our DBs can just eliminate their wide receivers. Let's just see what they can do. But I didn't mean to put it. I was supposed to be like.
Yeah. I think when you look at it, really, the Patriots in our position that we've been in for a long time where they have to play lights out of their goddamn minds to really hold a candle with the Jets. And that's the way it should have been the first matchup too. And again, turnovers was the name of the game there. So I'm in a good spot. I feel much more relaxed and less pressed than I did even in that first game. I'm definitely in that. I damn near feel like I'm on the team bus with them. This is all business at this point. This is 7-3 record coming. We just need to go out and do the things that we're capable of doing. And I don't even think I have any crazy predictions or anything. Well, I guess I predicted a blowout, but I think you see James Robinson with this 2-week, I don't even want to call it the layoff, but he had to buy a week and a whole another week to get comfortable in the scheme. He's handled some business at home, he said, with, getting his house and shit wrapped up so he doesn't have secondary things on his mind. I think MC and James Robinson ball out, and I think we get an unexpected game. And I don't know if I want to lean with Denzel Mims or if I want to lean with Elijah Moore. And I'm kind of leaning towards Mims because we've seen Elijah Moore. Yeah, we've seen Elijah Moore in the slot the last 2 games, and the only reason I wouldn't tilt him having a better game than Mims is because when I took a look at the game film, you've seen him get blown up at the line of scrimmage a lot. Like not Zach Wilson, Elijah Moore was getting his ass washed out. And it's the same thing they were doing with Garrett Wilson, but, that's the difference. Garrett Wilson, 6 foot, he has more weight. Elijah Moore, 5'8". You want to try to run around you, man. You're not built to go out there and try to block a match you down straight up. So we'll see. We'll see.
I think that Elijah Moore might have his coming out party this freaking weekend. And I'm not talking about he's going to drop like 4 touchdowns. But think about it though. Think about it.
How long have we
because
been saying
we've seen if there was going to be a game where this team was going to go ahead and unleash what we know Elijah Moore can do. Because he's played in the slot against Buffalo. And I watched that tape in Buffalo. He got open a lot in the slot.
To your point as well, I think I've seen Jack Jones on the injury report. And he usually plays out of the slot. Yep.
In the slot, and he's gone. He's out. Right? So I think this is going to be one of the things where we're going to simplify the game for you. The easiest thing you can do to your quarterback is get it to your check down. Your slot receiver has the ability to maneuver and get open and play with whatever the defense is giving them. Hey, keep an eye on Elijah Moore. If he's open, get him the ball, right? The dude can make plays. I think that's going to be the first read more often than not because I don't think the Patriots are thinking that. I think the Patriots are thinking like, man, he's been getting open against Buffalo. They didn't even target him. They had him freaking 9 in the game. Let's focus on stopping Garrett. Let's focus on stopping Mims because Corey Davis is definitely not going to play because he didn't practice at all this week. So he's not going to play. And I think that's going to make it to where like Elijah is the option since we know what Garrett Wilson can do against these guys. He crushed them last freaking time they played. Mims is going to be good. Mims iced the game last time. You know what I'm saying? Not against them, but against Buffalo. He iced the game against Buffalo with that freaking a contested catch. I think right now the guy they're thinking is like, hey, they don't even throw him the ball. They're already playing defense for us. Is Elijah Moore, and I think they make him a focal point. But again, you also could be right, Gino, because I've said that he would probably have an impact against the Patriots the first time.
I think I have the same.
He was a ghost.
I think it's different though. We were still looking at a lot of the same old being done with him. He was still in the doghouse too.
He was.
I'm from the show me state. You got to show me that you're going to put Elijah Moore out there. I'll just believe it when I see it.
I mean, they have though. He's played.
I'm talking about the breakout game. Having a breakout game.
I got you.
I just don't see it. I think Mims is playing better than him anyway. So.
But okay, I'm glad you brought that up. So, are you a non-believer now in Elijah? Are you done with him or
me?
Because I like you specifically. Are you? So for you, so Elijah Moore right now, I know he pissed off a lot of Jets fans. He pissed me off. Mm-hmm. I'm the person that was just like, you know what? He wants to leave. Come send him out of here. But he's here. He's on the team. Mm-hmm. I think Elijah Moore is very, very talented. I don't believe last year was a fluke that he got. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe. So I believe he's a top. Honestly, I think he's better than Corey Davis. I think it goes freaking Garrett Wilson, Elijah Moore, Corey Davis. Call me biased, but I believe Elijah Moore's talent level is higher. His ceiling is higher than Corey Davis. But we haven't seen him being utilized. So are you amongst the individuals that say, you know what, forget him. He didn't want to be here. Don't care. Mims has played well, has blocked well, has made some big time catches since taking over Elijah Moore being on the offense. Are you one of the incumbents that feel like you should just go ahead and call it a day when it comes to Elijah Moore? Or do you think he's worth force feeding that dude because he is a talent that can help us win games?
I mean, I love Elijah Moore. We just haven't gotten him involved. I mean, he gets open all the time. It's like Wilson, he gets open, but he's not really doing anything because we haven't been throwing him the ball. And also we're sticking a lot to the running game. No, I mean, I didn't like what he did. I kind of understand a little bit of it, but I mean, I didn't like what he did on Twitter and how he handled all that situation, but I'm not giving up on him. I just think overall we're not throwing the ball as much. I mean, Corey Davis is Zach Wilson's boy, and you can tell the chemistry with Wilson as well. And Mims had a great game in the fourth quarter last time. So it's like where do you fit him in? Yeah, he's a number one round talent. Number one round talent. Elijah Moore is very talented. You see why they drafted him from Ole Miss. But the thing for me is, if he can ball out one of these games, yeah, it's going to be great. But it's just not happening right now. It's just not.
That's fair.
Don't mind me in the comments either. I'm just
testing. I was like, what are you doing?
I was like, what is that?
What is that? It's like, what link is that? I'm gonna look that up, whatever it is.
Yeah, no, it was part of a question I had for like some AFC stuff. Best quarterback in there, but I just wanted to see how it was showing out poll wise in here.
If we can get more going, we'll be unstoppable. When we get more going, the chemistry's already there with Davis and Wilson. The chemistry's already there with Berrios. Shoot, even Jeff Smith had a couple catches. But if more can get in there, man, like it's great. It'll be good for us. It'll be very good for us because no one's going to see it coming because we haven't been throwing him the ball. You know what I mean? So he's a great secret weapon. He's a great get on Wilson, then Davis is open. Get on Moore. Wilson is open. Get on all these guys because there's so much depth in the wide receiver position.
Yeah, man. That's why I think I liked the most in the beginning of the season was the fact that there's no way a defense can guard all these guys. It's not possible.
Agreed.
The way the NFL works right now, bro, like you're not gonna have freaking 3 DB1s right now. Granted, the Jets got 2.5 DB1s. Right. I don't know how that happened, but that's the exception, not the rule, right? Like, and I do believe Elijah Moore's a wide receiver 1. Garrett Wilson, I thought was 1B, but he's showing us he's 1A. He's that dude. And Corey Davis, he's been a wide receiver 1B,
underrated
1B.5, right? Like he's a guy that you've got to show respect to, and we've got 3 guys.
What GVH just said right here. Exactly what GVH just said right there.
What he said.
100%.
If Moore gets in there, we have the offense we thought we had. Our O-line will have to hold up. He's right.
Exactly.
He's right. Look. The weapons are. This is for the first time in God knows how long the New York Jets have weapons across the board.
Agreed.
Like we
even at the tight end position. And who knew that would have happened?
Tight ends are good. Running backs are good. Wide receivers are good. Truthfully, the weakest part of our offense is the question mark is Zach Wilson, and our offensive line is just like, all right, it's gonna be a week where y'all hold up, or y'all not gonna hold up. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just you never know which offensive line is gonna show up, but it's one of those beautiful combinations of we've got a roster right now that we already, and like somebody said this the other day, like you realize if you had like Lamar Jackson, you guys are Super Bowl favorites. If you had like, I hearing this from other people has made me, I was like, damn, all right, our team is that good. Because other fan bases are like, man, I'd be scared of you if you had like a Lamar Jackson. I'd be scared of you if you had like Deshaun Watson. Like,
exactly.
The only thing people are not terrified of is Zach Wilson, which means everybody else develops so fast, bro, that we have a playoff caliber roster
right
now, today, the Jets have a playoff caliber roster, but do we have a playoff caliber quarterback? And that even as a game manager, is he a playoff caliber quarterback? And that's the question you got to ask yourself. And it sucks because I don't know. I really don't know. And that's where we're at right now.
Exactly. That's our only question mark.
Yep.
And the O-line, because O-line's always night and day. So, you don't know if they're going to be injured or not. I mean, and Joe Douglas made the moves to keep us a caliber team, bringing in O-line, he's not bringing in defensive tackle because of Rankins. I like the move because Marshall and Smart, I believe in Marshall and Smart. But for me, we would have gave up if we didn't get another quarterback. But I know they like Knight, but even they didn't even feel confident. Then they went out and get James Robinson. But if everyone is clicking together, this is a great team. Wilson, it's all a great team down the line. I have people coming up to me now. They're like, "You guys are good." And I'm like, "Wow, I haven't felt that in 13 years." So it's like
it's been a minute, bro. It's been a minute.
It's just and it's like it's some people, other fan bases are now hopping on the wagon now, but now they're like, "You guys won't beat the Bears." I'm like, "Fuck you, yeah, we won't get out of here."
No, people are
the one-dimensional Bears.
Stupid. I just think people are stupid. Like they're
saying that. What the fuck did I see? They're saying that what the hell's his name? They're saying that Justin Fields now is like an MVP candidate.
Yeah, I saw that
bro.
too.
No, I got into a heated debate with a Bears fan on Twitter today, bro. This dude legitimately said.
I saw that too. I was laughing my ass off.
So his tweet was, he goes, so apparently Justin Fields is a top 10 quarterback in the league. Okay. Then he goes,
maybe his running ability is top 10, but he's
a top 10 running back in the league right now.
Yeah.
Bruh. So then he goes like, "Oh, by the way, he's leading like the number 1 offense in the league, right?" Man, talk about a rabbit hole of just. I was just like, "Bro, stop it. Chill. He's not leading the number 1 offense in the league. You're embarrassing yourself." Which I sent all kinds of stats, bro. So like, he talks about like, "Oh, you can't do numbers. You don't understand averages and blah 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 blah." And I'm sitting there like, "Oh, this must be a troll account. Like, this is a troll account," and I'm getting sucked in because like, there's no way anybody with common sense is gonna say this. Like, long story short, man, this is like a 3-hour Twitter battle. I'm at work.
Yo,
my phone's going off, and I'm like, "Man,
you gotta stop. You gotta stop doing that."
I know, Gino.
My man gonna get it,
you get sucked in so much. You know how many times I tell you that? You always do. I'm texting Gunny in the middle of the day, like, "Dude, stop! Like, you're good. Like, you're better than
these
this,
freaking weirdos." And I can't help myself. So then finally he changes it up. Like, "Well, I didn't mean like the full season. I meant like the last 4 weeks." Like, they
always got to backtrack.
I gotta stay social media clean. You won't be arguing during work,
bro. You're right. And I realized like I wasted 3 hours of my day today, literally arguing with this Bears fan because Justin Fields has had an impressive running. Then he tried to tell me like, "Oh, well, he's one of them. He's leading the league in freaking like quarterback efficiency, like passes per attempt, blah blah, all this stuff per attempt." And I was like, bruh, the average NFL quarterback is throwing 31 times a game. Justin Fields is throwing 20 times a game. Right. So yeah, every time a good thing happens for him, it's going to skew his percentages because he doesn't throw the ball as much as the average QB. Bro, I shit you not. Yes. This dude told me, "You don't understand what averages are. You don't get what it." I'm like, okay, stop. How about this? So 2 out of 2 is 100%, right? Yeah, all right, cool. 8 out of 10 is 80%, right? Yeah, cool. Okay, cool. So which is better? You can go with a lower amount at 100%, but the 80% is pretty good, especially when you talk about the sample size. So with Justin Fields, you're bragging about how 2 out of 2, he's 100%, comparing him to other quarterbacks who are throwing 10 times more per game, and they're 8 out of. Do you see the disconnect? You don't understand averages. You're a dumbass. I can't believe you. And I'm like, bro, I couldn't have explained that any simpler. I don't really know how else.
I could tell you, bro. I argue with absolutely 0% of Twitter because I don't have an account. But
you're a smart man. You're a smart man.
My cousins are Bears fans.
Gino doesn't even bother. Gino doesn't even bother with people.
I don't.
If somebody says anything to Gino on Twitter, bro, no response.
Hey, Gino's the hardest working man on this side of the hemisphere, yo. He don't got time for Twitter.
He don't got time for the kids, bro.
I keep yelling at Liam trying to shut the hell up. And then I'm over here like, I feel like I'm everybody's manager. So like for me, I just get a lot of trolls in person. And on Twitter, I'm just like, okay, I'm blocking you, or finally, I don't care about that crap. But for me, like,
I refuse to block people. I'll never give those bitches.
They got it. No.
Feel like they're that important.
They gotta really push me for me to block it. But the thing is, my cousins are Bears fans, and they keep coming like, oh, we're gonna beat you. Fish Fields is the next up and coming. I'm like,
God.
yeah, they have a good team, a good potential team. They have so much cap. They can literally pay anybody, but you traded Raekwon Swift and you traded Quinn. Like, your defense is nothing now. Fields he's a good running quarterback, but he doesn't have the offensive line. Claypool was a big help, but like, he's not going to get in there for a little bit. Mooney, Kmet, I mean, they're good weapons, and Montgomery is a good weapon, but like, that was a fluke with the Patriots. You guys fluked that. Like, you shouldn't have won that game, but it is what it is, man.
Sunday.
Yeah, it is any given Sunday.
Thank you.
It's
there
true.
You go, DK.
It's true.
Any given Sunday.
Yeah, I'm a very simple man.
When it strikes down to 0-0-0,
it's whoever has the most points in the clock. That's it.
Exactly.
It's crazy how lost in the rabbit hole people get over stats when, you know, there's a couple sayings in the NFL that I generally like, and I, you know, totality wise, looking at the bigger picture, it makes the most sense. You are what your record says you are.
Yeah.
Fucking 2-5 team, your ass, okay? I don't care about,
Facts.
You know, everybody gets the nitpicking over all the teams tied at 6-3 and oh, well, the Bills have won 5 straight games decided by less than one score. And I'm like, okay, so they're more clutch than you guys. You toughen the fuck up. It is what it is. All that tells me is that if I have the Bills versus another team, I'm going to go with the Bills in a close matchup because you guys apparently can't get the job done. So, like,
you can't close, they can.
Yeah.
Right. I can't argue with people when it comes to the stats. You got about a 5-minute conversation with me, and then after that, I'm going to start looking at you like you're crazy.
Well, and for me, Patriots fans have been coming at me more, honestly, not on Twitter, but Instagram and YouTube. Like, the comments, it's just been nonstop. It's like, well, if we had Brady, I'm like, Brady's not even there. Are you that dumb, dude? So it's like, it's and then they're like, Jets are going to need a prayer. I'm like, okay, sure. All right, whatever. Keep going. I'll remember this. I'll remember this and come back to you on Sunday. It's like I get more with Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube more than Twitter because I just don't respond that much. I mean, I'll do my thing and then I'm gone.
I'm that dumbass that responds.
No,
I can't help myself.
No shit, Gunny. No shit. We know.
Bro,
I still love you, dude. But yeah, I get it.
I was at a team building lunch event at my office, bro.
This guy
here trying to eat my fajita
in the rodeo, in the fucking rodeo. I remember that.
I'm over here. No, you're simple bitch. This is wrong, bro. I'm
gonna have to go to Houston and get your goddamn phone.
Bro, you might have to, dog, because all of it was I couldn't even enjoy a team building lunch with my freaking fellow employees because.
Hold the taco meat. I got a basic bitch over here.
Yeah, bro, I was like, hey, man, give me the fajita. I don't give a damn. Give me the fajita. I gotta fix this simple bitch real quick. It was shit. And then afterwards, after about an hour and a half, 2 hours, and I realized, like, oh, there is no common sense coming from this other side. I don't know what I'm doing. I need to do better.
There's a question for y'all because I'm curious now. Because when I think about it, I don't have the social media, so that's a whole nother thing. But when I can't even call it an argument. When people are debating stuff with me, it really does ultimately end up being like a very objective conversation. And maybe that's the way like some of the questions get structured and stuff like that. But it really is honestly like it's more of a forum discussion it ends up evolving into rather than well, bitch, my team's better than yours. You niggas suck, lick balls. Like none of that stuff happens.
Wow.
So do y'all think it's more so how y'all are retaliating with answering some of these questions, or is it more so just the people are, out of their minds with shit?
I think it's both. I think it's both.
Combination.
Yeah. Because I get more hate in person and like I said, on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram than Twitter. So you really got to push me. I can tell by people's attitudes right away because I got that intuition. If I know if you're going to be aggressive towards me, if I got to be aggressive towards you, you're done. Like you're done. I'm going to take a pot, a pan pot.
Playing good ball.
I'm ready. Like I got everything with you. People always come up to me if there's Cowboys fans, Chiefs fans, like, well, we won the Super Bowl. I'm like, Cowboys haven't done nothing in years. And then you got the Chiefs, and you got all those other people. It's like, dude, the Jets are an up-and-coming team. I know my situation. Okay, I know my situation.
That's the funny thing,
really think,
right?
It's like you think you're gonna bring me down because of the crap that's been going on for the last 13 years
for a decade.
Yeah, it's like you really think you can bring me down more than what you think you got in your head. You feel like, oh, I got him, I got Italy Jet. Oh, I'm gonna get him, I'm bury him. Like, bro, dude, I've had so much shit in my life. You don't even understand, dude. You're not. No way.
Like for me, man, I think my approach is, I really have this genuine desire to just try to educate, right? I'm like, oh, okay, you said that, but I don't think you know what you meant. So let me go ahead and just try to educate. And people don't
team building.
Ignorance is bliss. Like, bro, like listen, it's ignorance is bliss, man. People really would rather just believe they know what they're talking about, and I'm the first to sit here and be like, shit, man, yeah, Zach Wilson right now. I don't know. I just don't know, man. I hope he's the guy. But I'm not gonna argue with you. You're like, hey, Zach Wilson sucks. He hasn't. I'm like, no, you're right. He hasn't proven anything. Yeah. I'm not.
I'll admit when I'm
not
right.
gonna argue with you. Like, there's nothing. There's no factual I can bring to the table to argue. Hey, Zach Wilson is trash. I'm like, all right, no, you're right. He has played bad. He hasn't shown us enough to know. I'm not gonna quit on him because you're like, oh, you need to just start over. Nah, bitch, chill. It's only literally he just started year 2. I'm okay with giving him until next year before I make a legitimate decision. But I'm also not going to argue that he's the one. I'm not going to be the one that's like, oh, man, he's him. He's him. Nope. Not going to hear it from me. So I try to educate people on, like, listen, man, relax. Like, Justin Fields had 4 good games rushing the ball. Like, it's not like he's fucking throwing the ball and just slaying people. Well, he has the most efficiency per attempt and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, all right, kiddo, check it out. I get where you're coming from, but he also is literally throwing the least amount of times in the NFL of any quarterback. Literally 201 attempts, the lowest amount. Like, I try to educate, and I think it comes off as like condescending, or it comes off as like I'm just belittling, when in all actuality, I'm just like, no, the stats say this, bro. Like, I don't know where you're getting this from. Okay, cool. Yeah, he's the most efficient. Got you. But again, he's also throwing the least amount. So whenever you say per attempt, he's also attempting literally 15% less than any other quarterback in the league. So, like, of course, those numbers are skewed because if he gets one good catch, that skews his numbers. It makes it looks way bigger. Then I'm trying to explain that, man, and I don't know. I think that people get offended because I don't think I'm trying to belittle them or I'm talking down to them. Mm-hmm. But I get the response that like, oh, he's so smart. Look at him with them. I'm like, what? I didn't say anything other than I Googled the stats. I understand. And I'm repeating it to you. But people get so just like defensive, and I'm like, all right. Then they start talking about like, oh, you can lick my balls. I'm like, all right, bitch. Now we got a problem. Now you're gonna see me become that dude, dog. Now you're gonna see me choose violence. Like and that's when I get sucked in. I talk to these freaking morons, and I decide, all right, you chose violence. I can do violence better. I promise you that. And that's where I get freaking frustrated, bro. And I have to literally today. I came back from the little luncheon. I'm in my office trying to get home at a decent time because I got to go watch my kid play basketball. And I'm sitting there like, what are you doing, bro? Like, why are you were letting this whole thing just mess up your day? Yeah. Like, you don't got to go to work tomorrow. You got the day off. You're going to play Call of Duty in the morning for the whole, like, what are you doing? Right. Like, I literally had to talk myself into like realizing this dude doesn't matter. And they don't want to be educated and they don't care. They want to live in ignorance. So why do you care? Right. And I had to, that's when I said, all right, I refuse to respond anymore to any of this nonsense. And he's still been tweeting me. It wouldn't. I bet you money. He's still tweeting me right now, and I haven't looked at I've ignored him since like 3:00 today.
And it's one of those things where it's like I'm not like afraid to admit when I'm wrong and when I'm and I'll back behind you when I'm right. Like with Dark Soldier, I'll take the L for that. I'll just learn better next time. And then when it comes to other things, people bring up the past so much with the Jets. It's like, what have you done for me lately? Who is your team? Okay, let's go to your team. Just like if it's the Cowboys or if it's the Chargers, the Rams, whatever fucking ever, I don't care. It's one of those things where it's all about what you've done for me lately, and people don't understand that. It's like if you want to keep dogging us for the seeing ghosts, the mono, the butt fumble, it's like, okay, then you really don't know what you're talking about. You haven't watched any of our highlights and watched any of our games
4 years ago.
It's like, are you kidding me? It's like I will admit when you're right, and I will admit when I'm wrong, but like it hasn't been like that this whole season. Like you can't say anything. But everybody else always wants to dog the Jets because of our history. And these guys on our team don't even know about all that crap because they weren't even there. And yes, it is easy.
One of these Bears fans tell me, "Oh, he's a Jets fan. Like he doesn't really." I'm like, hold on, bitch, time out. You are not the Packers. You are not the Patriots.
Cutler my ass.
You literally have not won a playoff game in over a decade.
Right.
You're not gonna sit here and talk to me about homie.
Oh,
bro, I got mad.
And Rex Grossman. Do they ever bring up that?
Do
they ever bring up that for you, Rex Grossman?
Oh, all the time,
dude. And I'm like, okay, listen, you had a Cinderella moment. Don't even give me that.
That's one, and then you got bumped.
Yeah,
like wild card 1 because reality hit. Soft schedule. Got to the playoffs. Smoked in the playoffs. You got sent home. They're not even averaging 500 in the last freaking decade. You're gonna tell me, oh, he's a Jets fan, bro? I got so mad about that. I'm like, all right, bitch, time out, stop.
Yeah, exactly. I do the same thing. I do the same thing.
Fan, not a Patriots fan, not a Packers fan. You ain't gonna talk down to me. You got a poverty franchise too, bro. You better embrace that, dog. Oh my god.
No, it's people's approaches on everything. And it's like I always want to know what your team is because I guarantee you I can beat your ass on whatever it is. It's like with the Cowboys. Hey. Tony Romo. It's like Tony Romo. What you put your faith in Tony Romo and you guys haven't been in the playoffs, or you put your faith in Witten. You had Bryant when he was good, but it's like they haven't done anything. But they're gonna say something about the Jets, same old Jets, but it's like, bro, come on, man. Sorry, DK. I pulled a Kanye right there. I'm gonna wait for Beyonce had the greatest album, Kanye moment. So I pulled that right there. So you can go ahead, DK.
Nah. Yo, look, that's a conversation for you two. I told you I don't fuck with the trolls. I don't. It's not in my DNA.
Yeah, bro. It's an hour and a half, man. I gotta go to bed. I'm tired. I just realized we did it again, dog. It's an hour and 28 minutes.
we always go an hour and a half. Gunny, why do you do that? Yes, this is an hour and a half show. Come on, man.
I thought the wife y'all was supposed to set a timer too. Hour 10, hour 15 minutes, and I never did.
I told the wife an hour.
Dude, just keep telling her hour and a half. It's an hour and a half show. It's okay.
Boy, that's a stretch.
Yeah, but that's a stretch, bro. Like you got me. I came home today, went to my kid's game, came from the game straight on here. Like, hey, I need some food. Yeah. She heated me up some food, and I got right. Y'all saw me eating in front of y'all. I was eating on camera, and I'm hungry as hell. So I'm gonna take my ass to bed because I don't.
I feel that. I'm about to grab me some food.
All right, that's cool. It's all good. All right, I'm gonna close this out. All right, everyone, thank you for watching the Take Flight Squad. Follow Banks on social media. Follow Gunny on social media. We are just trying to change the game, and we are doing it every step of the way. That's why the flag is right there. So here we go. Patriots, let's get this W. Let's change the course. Let's change history by beating the Patriots. Follow us on social media. We appreciate you. We will see you in 2 weeks. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Happy Thanksgiving. Have a good night.
What they said.